How many eggs should you actually eat in a day? And why has something so simple become so controversial? For decades, eggs have been praised, demonized, restricted, and then cautiously welcomed back. One week they're a superfood. The next week, they're a cholesterol disaster. Meanwhile, generations before us ate eggs daily without fear. So what's the truth? Today, I'm going to walk you through why 3 to 4 eggs per day can be one of the smartest nutritional decisions you make. Not because of hype, not because of trends, but because of biology. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why eggs are fundamentally different from other protein sources, and why they may be one of the most complete foods available. Let's start with the elephant in the room. This feedback loop is tightly regulated in most healthy individuals. For decades, eggs were placed at the center of the heart disease narrative. The logic seemed simple. Eggs contain cholesterol. Cholesterol is found in plaques. Therefore, eggs must cause heart disease. It sounded reasonable. It was repeated constantly, and it stuck. But human physiology is not that linear. Dietary cholesterol and blood cholesterol are not the same thing. Your liver produces the majority of your cholesterol every single day because cholesterol is essential. It stabilizes cell membranes. It forms steroid hormones. In other words, your body is not a passive sponge absorbing cholesterol blindly. It is an active regulator. Modern research has repeatedly shown that for the majority of people, egg consumption does not meaningfully increase cardiovascular risk. In many cases, eggs raise HDL, the so-called good cholesterol, which plays a protective role in lipid transport. Even more important than total cholesterol is the size and density of LDL particles. Emerging data suggests that nutrient-dense foods like eggs may shift particles toward larger, less atherogenic forms in many individuals. The cholesterol fear largely came from outdated epidemiological associations and oversimplified dietary models that assumed cholesterol in food directly translated to cholesterol in arteries. Human metabolism is far more sophisticated than that. An egg must provide structural material, energy, micronutrients, protective compounds, and signaling molecules, all in perfect balance. When you eat steak, chicken breast, or fish, you're eating muscle tissue. Muscle is built for contraction, movement, force. It serves a mechanical function in the animal. An egg is different. An egg contains everything required to build an entire living organism. Not just muscle, not just protein, everything. Eggs have the highest biological value of any protein source. Biological value refers to how efficiently your body can absorb and utilize that protein. Egg protein ranks at the top because its amino acid composition closely mirrors human tissue requirements. That means the amino acids are in proportions your body recognizes and uses efficiently for tissue repair, hormone production, enzyme creation, immune signaling, neurotransmitter synthesis, and structural maintenance. But protein isn't just about building muscle. Protein repairs tissues daily. It builds enzymes that drive every biochemical reaction in your body. It forms hormones that regulate stress, metabolism, and reproduction. It supports detox pathways in the liver. It helps regulate fluid balance and cellular integrity. And in certain contexts, it can even serve as fuel. Here's where eggs gain another advantage. If you eat very lean protein, like rabbit meat, extremely lean chicken, or certain fish, your body can only use a small percentage of that protein as fuel. Excessive lean protein without adequate fat can stress metabolism because converting protein into usable energy is metabolically expensive. Eggs contain both high-quality protein and natural fat in the yolk. That fat provides usable energy without forcing the body to over-rely on protein conversion pathways. In fact, a significant portion of the whole egg can be used as fuel, not just for structure and repair. That makes eggs metabolically efficient. You're not just eating protein, you're eating a balanced energy system. The protective design of the egg. An egg isn't just nutrient-dense, it's biologically protected. The egg white contains antimicrobial proteins, such as lysozyme and ovotransferrin. These compounds evolved to protect the developing embryo from bacterial invasion. One of these proteins can bind biotin when the egg is raw. That's why consuming large amounts of raw egg whites over time can interfere with biotin absorption. But once cooked, that concern disappears because heat denatures the binding protein. And here's the deeper insight. That binding mechanism exists to deprive invading pathogens of essential nutrients. The egg is not random nutrition. It is strategic nutrition with built-in defense systems. Even the defensive systems inside an egg are intelligently designed. Essential amino acids and muscle signaling. Eggs contain all essential amino acids, including leucine. Leucine plays a critical role in activating mTOR, the signaling pathway that stimulates muscle protein synthesis. As we age, our ability to stimulate muscle growth declines, a phenomenon called anabolic resistance. That makes leucine-rich protein sources more important, not less. Muscle isn't just about aesthetics. Muscle regulates blood sugar by acting as a glucose reservoir. Muscle supports metabolic rate. Muscle protects joints. Muscle preserves independence and reduces fall risk. Eggs provide the amino acid profile necessary to stimulate muscle repair effectively, while also delivering the fat and micronutrients that support recovery and hormonal balance. This is why eggs aren't just another protein source. They are a biologically complete package. Eggs are one of the richest and most efficient dietary sources of choline, and most people are not getting enough of it. Choline supports liver function by helping export fat out of the liver. Without adequate choline, fat can accumulate inside liver cells, contributing to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, a condition that has become increasingly common in modern society. Choline is also a primary building block of bile. Bile is not just a digestive fluid. It is essential for breaking down and absorbing fats and fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K. If bile flow is compromised, fat digestion suffers and nutrient absorption declines. But choline's importance goes far beyond digestion. It is a precursor to acetylcholine, one of the most important neurotransmitters in the human body. Acetylcholine influences memory, learning speed, attention span, and neuromuscular coordination. Low acetylcholine activity has been associated with cognitive decline and impaired focus. Choline also plays a central role in methylation, a biochemical process that affects DNA repair, detoxification, hormone regulation, and neurotransmitter production. Methylation influences how genes are expressed. It helps repair cellular damage. It helps regulate inflammation. Many people have genetic variations, such as MTHFR polymorphisms, that make methylation less efficient. For them, adequate choline intake becomes even more critical because it can help compensate for reduced efficiency in related pathways. In short, choline supports liver resilience, brain chemistry, detoxification capacity, and genetic stability. And eggs deliver it in a highly bioavailable, natural form, packaged alongside complementary nutrients like B12 and folate that work within the same biochemical networks. Eye and brain protection. Egg yolks contain lutein and zeaxanthin, two powerful carotenoids concentrated in the retina. These compounds act like internal sunglasses. They help filter high-energy blue light and reduce oxidative stress inside delicate retinal tissues. Over time, oxidative damage to the retina contributes to visual decline. Lutein and zeaxanthin accumulate in the macula, where they form a protective shield. They also support contrast sensitivity and visual performance in low-light conditions. But their role isn't limited to the eyes. Lutein also accumulates in brain tissue. Research has shown that higher lutein levels in the brain are associated with improved processing speed, memory retention, and cognitive performance, especially in older adults. In other words, these carotenoids don't just protect sight, they may help preserve mental sharpness. When you eat eggs, you're not just feeding muscle, you're feeding your nervous system. Phospholipids and brain structure. Egg yolks contain phospholipids, including phosphatidylcholine and phosphatidylserine, which are essential components of cell membranes. Your brain is heavily composed of fat-based structures. Neurons communicate across membranes. The flexibility and integrity of those membranes directly influence signal transmission efficiency. Membrane integrity affects how quickly electrical impulses travel. Signal transmission affects cognition, memory, reaction time, mood stability, and even stress resilience. When membranes are rigid or compromised, communication slows. When membranes are supported, signaling improves. Eggs contribute structural components that support that system at a foundational level. Eggs also contain bioactive peptides that may mimic mild ACE inhibitor activity. ACE inhibitors are medications used to lower blood pressure by influencing vascular tone and fluid balance. While eggs are not medication, certain naturally occurring compounds within them appear to support healthy vascular relaxation. They also contain vitamin K2, which helps direct calcium into bones and teeth and away from soft tissues like arteries. Calcium accumulation in arteries contributes to stiffness and reduced elasticity. Vitamin K2 helps regulate calcium trafficking, supporting vascular flexibility over time. Add to that vitamin D and active vitamin A in the yolk, and you have fat-soluble nutrients that support immune function, epithelial tissue health, hormone balance, and systemic resilience. What makes eggs unique is not just one nutrient. It's the synergy of all of them working together. What type of eggs should you eat? Not all eggs are equal. The majority of commercially consumed eggs come from confined systems. Chickens raised in tight quarters under stress produce eggs with different nutrient profiles. Pasture-raised eggs are typically superior. These chickens have outdoor access and more natural movement. Their diet often includes insects and varied plant matter. That diversity influences nutrient composition, especially carotenoids and fatty acid balance. Organic labeling refers to feed quality, not necessarily living conditions. If possible, choose pasture-raised. If that's not financially realistic, conventional eggs are still highly nutritious and often superior to many ultra-processed protein alternatives. How to combine eggs for maximum benefit. Egg yolk fat enhances absorption of fat-soluble phytonutrients. Pair eggs with leafy greens like arugula to dramatically increase nutrient uptake. Add sautéed onions for sulfur compounds that support detox pathways. Sprinkle black pepper to enhance carotenoid absorption. Avoid overcooking the yolk. Excess heat can degrade sensitive nutrients. Cook gently. Add tomatoes in season for lycopene, a powerful antioxidant linked to vascular and prostate health. Include avocado for additional monounsaturated fats and fiber. Cook eggs in olive oil or butter rather than highly refined seed oils. These combinations turn a simple breakfast into a nutrient-amplified meal. So, how many eggs? For most healthy individuals, 3 to 4 eggs per day can provide exceptional nutrient density. That amount delivers meaningful choline, complete protein, carotenoids, fat-soluble vitamins, and metabolic fuel. Of course, individual needs vary. But eggs are not the villain they were once portrayed to be. They are a compact nutritional system designed by biology itself. When you look at the whole picture, the protein quality, the fat balance, the micronutrients, the protective compounds, it becomes clear why eggs have stood the test of time. Simple, accessible, efficient. 3 to 4 eggs a day isn't extreme, it's strategic. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.